Hello guys, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna run my Visual Studio, create ASP.NET MVC application, pretending that I don't know when I'm gonna deploy this application later, and I will say after that, oh, okay, I decided I'm gonna deploy this application on Windows Azure, and then after application was created, I'm gonna create the resource group, I'm gonna create application service, SQL Server database, and all this manually. So this is what I'm gonna do today. This is my goal. Okay, let's start my Visual Studio and first create the application which I was talking about. Hopefully this is gonna happen quickly. I already clicked there on the Microsoft Visual Studio and we'll see how much time it is gonna take. Actually, I decided not to stop Camtasia in this video just to see real time how much time actually it takes. Azure App Service activity, overall status, nothing. Okay, so let me look here. Those are the news. Perfect. Everything looks fine. I'm gonna say new project, and I'm gonna call this project services manually created. As I said, I'm gonna uncheck right now deploy to the cloud, not to use Microsoft Azure. I'm gonna pretend that I don't know when I'm gonna deploy it. In this case, it doesn't even matter if I'm not logged in to my Microsoft Azure free trial application insights. Okay, so web app, and I'm gonna say manually created services. Wow. Quite a long name. So maybe I'll name it Azure, which is not gonna change, I believe, things, but let me do it this way. Even though I'm tired, it looks that this is something more appropriate for this case. Okay, let's start this experiment. Create directory for the solution, whatever. My application. Okay, this is the most important difference now. This is the fork. This is the junction. And I'm taking another way. Host in the cloud is unchecked. It doesn't matter now. App Services Virtual Machine is not going to be hosted in the cloud. Change identification, just make sure that you have registration and authentication. Of course, I'm not starting with empty ASP.NET MVC application, which is a great way to learn how to add authentication, authorization, whatever, manually. Maybe I'm gonna create tutorials about that. I'm just gonna take the shortcut. I want to have the registration and authentication already done for me in my application. In any case, this is the default application. I'm gonna say OK, and that's it. Azure manually created services application is gonna be created, and after that I'm gonna show how to publish this to the server. Let me make sure Azure created services. Okay, Azure manually created services. The application now is gonna be created. I still don't know where I'm gonna deploy it. At least I'm pretending that I don't know. And once the application is done, I will say, okay, let's deploy this to Azure. Let's choose application service name, let's choose a URL, and all this kind of stuff. As I said, I'm not gonna stop this time the recording. I'm not going to pause and resume. Let it running as it is. just to have idea of how much time really takes to create such thing. In another tutorial I'm showing how to create all the services directly in the Visual Studio, and the published parameters will be pre-populated, so you don't have to do this manually. But it's a good way of learning to know eventually how to do it yourself. Okay, the application is running. Adding application insights to project, Microsoft Application Insights, Web 1, 2, 3 to Project Azer manually created services. Okay. Wow, it takes quite a lot of time. I was hoping that half an hour is gonna be more. I was thinking 15 minutes should be okay to this kind of project. Adding, uploading, updating project. I'm gonna choose a different browser. I don't want my application to run in Firefox. I would prefer to run in Google Chrome. And congratulations, your ISP application has been created. Interesting resources, service references. Let's look around. Okay, application update is empty, even though I choose show files. Bin, what about bin? Bin is full with DLLs already. Object, all this kind of stuff. References. Entity framework is used for identification and authorization, so that's why it has been added already, a reference to entity framework. Web config, okay, I'm not interested in that right now. Control F5. I have changed my browser, default browser, to Google Chrome. Not default browser, but the browser in which the application will be tested. So let me see the application. Actually, I'm going to use the same name for the database server and for the database and for everything, just to be consistent. What is going on now? Build started, Project Azer manual created services. Let's see, already 8 minutes have passed. Okay, finally. This is how my application looks like. I would like to say, but it's still not loaded. Come on, give me a favor. Work a little bit faster. Yeah. In one of the tutorials, I showed how to create everything through Visual Studio. In another tutorial, I'm showing how partially I have created some things in Visual Studio and others, the database manually. And in this tutorial, I'm showing everything manually. All the services in Azer will be created manually. And when I said the words before, I was meaning Azer. So automatically creating services in Azer, partially automatically, partially manually, and now I'm creating everything manually in Azer, services in Azer. Okay, so the application runs. I don't need anything more. Locally runs. In other tutorials I'm showing how the database, local database, is gonna be created if I try to log in or try to register. And now I'm gonna go directly to publish. Okay, let's say I decided I'm gonna publish this application, and where can I publish it? to Microsoft Azure Virtual Machines, to Microsoft Azure API Apps Classic, Microsoft Azure App Service. Okay, this is what I need. Now it asks me for subscription. Resource group, I haven't created yet resource group, so let me create everything in Azure, and after that come back here and connect. So I'm in resource groups. I'm gonna create resource groups, and everything I create I will add to this resource group in order to be able to easily remove it and clean up after myself. Okay, add. It asks me for the resource group. I'm gonna say this is Azure manually created services, free trial, Azure Australia East. No, Western Europe. I'm in Europe right now, so that's why I'm gonna use West Europe, since they don't have East Europe. Pin to dashboard. Okay, in any case I'm gonna delete it. Here it is. Creating resource. Azure manually created. What happened? I guess I just clicked on it. Azure manually created. Okay, the resource group is created. Here we go. I'm gonna give the same name to the application service, which I'm gonna create right now, and I'm gonna attach to this resource group. Pin to dashboard. Enter service name, and this is gonna serve as well as a subdomain where I can access my application Azure website. So hopefully nobody else is using it. Yeah, I get a green check, which means that everything is okay. Resource group, I'm gonna attach to the same resource group. Azure manually created. Azure manually created. Pin to dashboard. No, I don't want to pin it to the dashboard anymore. In any case, I'm gonna remove it, as I said. New, why no? Contact manager, app service plan. Let me see the app service plan. Contact manager. I can add to this service plan, or I can create a new service plan. West Europe S1. Okay, let's create a new service plan. Is the container for your application. The app service plan settings will determine the location, features, cost, and computer resources associated with your app. I'm gonna say app service plan Azure manually created. Service plan West Europe. I hope they're not gonna charge me. West India, West Europe. Pricing tier. Wow. Okay. View all. I was thinking that yeah, I'm with free service plan. F1, select this one, free. Azure manually created. Okay, app service plan, Azure main plan, free trial, subscription, Azure manually created, um, create, deployment started. Hopefully I will see it soon. Azure contact manager, PhD Uni. I still don't have. Here we go. Azure manually created services. This is my application. Now let me create the SQL database. Let me create the server, and after that I will get back and download the connections. Deployment failed. Deployment to resource group Azure manually created service failed. Notifications. Why? Deployment failed. To resource error. Wednesday, January. Client notification. Resource. I don't know why. Free trial, free trial. Everything is free trial. Let me take a look here. It seems to me everything works. No FTP deployment. Even though it says that there are errors. We'll try and see what happens. As usually say, too much magic in Microsoft Azure. Okay, I'm gonna create a new database. Enter database name. I stick with this data name and database name. I stick with this words. This is database server configure requested settings. Blank database standard SO. I don't want to pin this to the desktop. Configure required settings. Now it's gonna allow me to choose from existing servers or create a new server, which I'm gonna do. So many databases can be used in one server. I'm gonna create a new server. Here we go. The name of the server is this. Server admin login. I'm gonna call this how to call it, Azure manually created service server login. I'm gonna call this manually created admin. Hopefully this is okay. And the password is gonna be password 7up, and again password 7up. Location West US. No, West US North, West Europe. This is where I like the server to be. Allow Azure services to access server. Of course, that's why I'm doing it. Admin. Huh. Okay. Let it admin. That's for fun. Okay. Azure manually created services is the name of the database. create a database. So I have database server, I have the database created inside the server, I have the application created. All I have to do now, SQL databases, all I have to do now, I guess, is go back to my application and try to use all this server. What happened now? I didn't see any error, and I don't see any server created yet. 5. Oh, creating SQL database, deployment failed, deployment to resource group as failed. Okay. The server has been created. Okay, let's go to app services now. Either manually created services and download. I get publish settings, which is the most important thing actually. Azure manually created show in folder, and I'm gonna open this in Notepad++, and voila, I'll have everything necessary to deploy my application. Let's start with the connection. Hopefully by the time I am finished with that, database also will be created, and we'll download the connection string. Microsoft Azure App Services, subscriptions, free trial, search. Let's see now. Azure manually created services. I can choose this one. Deployment slot. Okay, so this is how you enter this information. 3. Okay, let's see what happens now. Voila, the password actually has been entered already. Azure manually created services, Azure validate connection. Hopefully it's gonna validate successfully. Okay, so that's okay. Settings. Remote connection string if we don't get it. Okay, this is my local installation of SQL Server. As you can see, the remote database connection string is not here, but I will get it. Let's go to the databases. Hopefully database has been created, and I hope they use containers, not virtual machines, because they are much cheaper and I'm playing a lot. As you can see, Azure manually created services. Click on this database. Strange is not green. Show database connection string. Waiting to the connection strings to show up. Copying this connection string. I'll say copy this connection string. Paste it here probably, because all I have to do is just replace the password here in the curly brackets. So this is the original, what I have downloaded from Azure, and here I'm gonna put my password, which is password, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 1 Okay, hopefully this works. Let's go back to Visual Studio and enter this connection string. Use this connection string at runtime, update destination web config. Our web config here, the local web config, has a connection string which allows me to connect to the local database. And the remote web config during the deployment is going to be replaced, is going to be changed actually, and the connection string which is going to be used is this one. Preview, start preview, and I will publish. Hopefully everything is gonna be working, and this is how you manually create all services necessary for an application to be deployed to Azure. If you don't know where you're gonna host, where you're gonna deploy your application, so let's say your application was created first, and after that you decided where to deploy it. That's great. This actually determining changes is not that important, but in any case I started, so I have to wait for it. 26 minutes. Please double the speed of this video. It's slow enough. You probably will get everything even if you watch it faster. So publish, and let's see what happens. View details. All the settings, as you can see, have been created manually. If you look at here, you'll see everything what is necessary to deploy the application to manually created services in Azure. They actually have been populated automatically for us because we have selected this resource group directly, adding file Azure manually created services bin entity framework DLL. Okay. Okay. Hopefully the database also works, and we are done. If you want to have fun and Server Explorer and connect to Azure, you can start the Server Explorer, connect to Azure if you haven't been connected, and you can look at your application services. We should have Azure manually created. Now we should be able to see the files which have been uploaded to this virtual machine or container in the cloud. Here it is, web config. Great. Yes, the connection string has been replaced. I'm in Azure. Let's try to register and log in to make sure that the database also works properly, and we are done. adminexample.com, password, register, password, that's why I'm using 7up. Password 7up, register. Yeah, okay. The passwords don't match. Password 7up. password 7up register. Yeah, great. So everything works fine, even the database. I was just thinking to show something. If you want to see the errors, the quick and dirty way to do that is in the web config to add something which is gonna allow showing the errors. Let me go back, display error Azer. So this is system web configuration. We just have to add custom errors mode of web config. Where is that? Let me search. Configuration. Configuration. Wow, a lot of configuration. System web. Here we go. And here we just have to add custom errors of, and if there are any errors, we'll see it. As I said, this is a quick and dirty way to do it. Now we can publish only this file if we like. And we can cause an error eventually. We'll see now. And try to work again. Login. Admin example. Well, I'm curious to see if the web config file actually has been modified. It doesn't matter. I published only one file. As you can see, yes, it has been modified. Let me try now the remote web config to see if all this has been added. The changes are here. All your file has been successfully published. Now let's search for this term. System web. Let's see the system web now. Okay, I'm not quite sure that I have the remote file. Downloading, opening again, search. Here we go. Custom errors off. And the connection string has been actually changed, which is very good. So I'll wrap up this tutorial. Let me summarize. I showed how to create first web application, ASP.NET MVC application in Visual Studio. I pretended that I didn't know where I'm gonna deploy this application, and after that I said, okay, I'm changing my mind, I'm gonna deploy it to Azer, or I'm gonna use Azer for some reason. I went to Azer, I created the resource group, Portal Azer. I have created the resource group just for me to be easy to organize all the services which I'm gonna create. I created this resource group. After that I created the application service, I created the database, and at the same time the database server. A free trial. What is that? This group? I don't know this group. I'll remove it soon, whatever it is. So, and after that I connected my Visual Studio. When I tried to publish, I have chosen Windows Azure profile, and I have entered all the information. I didn't have to enter the information because Visual Studio gave me a chance to choose the resource group or the application service, and everything gets automatically populated. But if you don't have, for example, the password, it happened to me to move the project to another computer and I didn't have the password saved. In this case, you go to application services, you download the come on you download the credentials, and in the credentials file you can find all necessary information including the password to connect. Here it is from here. If you don't know the SQL database connection string, no worries. You go to the Azure manually created service or your database, and after that you click on the show database connection strings and you get the connection string, which you just have to copy, and after that just replace the password. That's all. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and hopefully this is helpful for somebody else.